Hey again, everybody. Welcome back. Another episode here of Banish the Doubt. My name is George McNamara, and in this episode, this video, what I want to talk about, a couple things. One is becoming, this is going to sound a little odd, but becoming like a broken doorbell. Now, why would I say that? Think about a broken doorbell. What happens when you push the button? Nothing, right? What happens in reality in your life when someone pushes your button? You react, right? Or a doorbell that doesn't, it's not broken, right? It rings. So whenever somebody pushes our button, we're told in society, we ring, right? We react. But it's living our life, learning to live our life in a way where a comment by somebody, a an event pushes our button. We are the doorbell. We ring, right? But it's living our life in a way where any comment, any action by somebody else, we're neutral. We don't ring. We live our life in a way where we see what's going on, but we are detached from this thing called reality to where we can see where that person's decision is coming from. It's coming from frustration, anger, limiting thoughts of lack. It's the ego. So we look at what's taking place and we say, okay, fine. Now, the other day I was driving, getting off of a highway, and this particular exit has a lot of people use it. So there is this long line waiting and cars waiting to get to exit the highway. And what other cars do is you're probably understanding where the image I'm conjuring up, drive alongside the driver's side and then slide in, right? Or the ego would say, cut me off. Notice the difference. Cars slide in, or as the ego would say, they're cutting me off. They're cutting in line. All conditional. That's all a conditioned behavior and reaction. Okay, so I'm getting towards the actual exit. And this car does that. I just, let him go. And as I let him go, her go, maybe 10 feet in front, and they don't even see it, there's a police officer standing right there with an unmarked car. He's standing outside the car. He points right at that car and says, pull it over. Okay. Now, I could have, the ego wanted to, wherever my destination was, to tell everybody, right? Oh, what do you see what happened to this person? But that's the ego. The ego wants to defend ourselves, right? The ego wants to gossip. So the broken doorbell, that's just life. That's somebody else going through their life, and we let it go. So this is some of the practices we want to start to implement, learning to live our life in a way where we allow the external world to just continue, to go on. It's the awareness that what we carry around with us is inside, and it is hurting us more so than anybody else. There's nothing I can say, even in this video, that I can put out that's going to change anybody on the outside. You, as the receiver of this information, must make a determination or decision and say, okay, I'm going to now on this information. Whether you do it, whether you're not, whether you don't, that's your decision. Okay? So that is the broken doorbell. We want to drain ourselves of this as much as possible and become like an empty vessel so that what all we're carrying around with us is what is who we are on the inside. And that is the spirit, the field, the energy of this field that we are a part of. Source energy, God consciousness, universal consciousness, however you want to define it. I am source and there is no other. I am God and there is no other. This realization, this mindset, and be empty of, drain ourselves of anything else other than that, other than the mindset of everywhere I look, I see things to be grateful for. People, places, everything, from a blade of grass to a skyscraper to an airplane in the sky. I'm not talking about walking around just, oh wow, so beautiful. I'm not talking about that. Just look at this and look at that. But I'm talking about just the understanding within our mind. Just be the real, again, the awareness, the realization that this is the place to be at. This is the place where we are lowering blood pressure, lowering stress levels, anxiety, levels of anxiety, levels of lack, and those types of thoughts. Because the rest of that builds up chemically within us and it comes out. The body, that your body is the practice ground. And however you're thinking, the thoughts that you're constantly carrying around with you, almost like this little mandarin, everything that's inside comes out whenever stress happens or something happens in our life or the person cuts us off or our in-laws say something or a coworker says something. What we're carrying around eventually in this body, we're showing the world our body, what we're carrying around. And we show it by the way of you're overweight, whatever it may be. But this is the practice ground. And you can see it, right? I mean, you can tell the person who is um, somebody who is very much involved in being this empty vessel, just not caring. They just have a certain way about them. They walk and talk and act and carry themselves just in a different way. You want to see the other person who is hurried, who is angst ridden, who is nervous, who is, you can hear it in their talk. You can hear things such as, I'm such a klutz. I always do things wrong. You can tell it by if you're at your job and suddenly the owner or the boss says, hey, I want to talk with a certain person. That person and everybody around them who is just like them, their first thought is what? Oh, well, what's wrong? Oh boy, what did you do wrong? This is again a conditioned behavior from back in our school days. If the principal calls somebody to the office, right? Everybody, oh wow, Johnny did something wrong. Mary did something wrong. It's a conditioned behavior. It's a conditioned response. Okay? So the final thing I want to talk about is I'm in the room here And on the wall, I have a thermostat. And I set this thermostat at, let's say, 68 degrees. Okay. 68 degrees represents your level of thinking, your awareness. But somebody who has understood this and is living a life where they are that broken doorbell, the empty vessel. That is, let's say, 175 degrees. And they are living there. And then we also notice that that person maybe has a lot of wealth. Money just seems to come to them. There's no effort. Money just sort of follows them. Or they put forth the inspired effort, right? And money just sort of follows. They're able to generate wealth. So we're at 68 degrees. This is our thinking. This is our life. And everybody else around us is right around that 68 to say 73 degrees and maybe 60 degrees. But pretty much we're the average. Next week, you find out, hey, lottery. And it's, I don't know, let's say $500 million. And everybody goes out to get a ticket. You get a ticket and you have the winning ticket. So the winning ticket, the 500 million, let's say it's at, that represents 225 degrees Fahrenheit, as far as a setting on the thermostat. So you've now gone from 68, 60 degrees to 225, your life. But isn't it interesting that what do we hear about lottery winners? 5 years later, thereabouts, or whatever, they're right back down, maybe even lower, maybe 50 degrees or 60 or 55 degrees. Why? Because it's the mindset. It's the awareness factor. It's the way they talk to themselves. The body, the mind, is not conditioned to live at that 175 or 225 degrees. So they act, they're living at that level with the mentality, the mindset of 68 or 62 or 55, whatever it may be, degrees. And what you hear from the person at that 68-degree thermostat setting, oh, if I win that 500 million, what's going to change? Everything they say, right? I'm going to live, I'm leaving this place, I'm selling my house, I'm quitting my job, right? Yeah. All the things that they don't like about their life, they're going to instantly change it. But if you decide you're going to leave whatever it is, the relationship you're in, the job you're in, the home, apartment, whatever it may be, the first person, the first thing to greet you at your new destination, 225 degrees, is the mindset, is the problem, all the problems at that 68-degree level. So therefore, this requires a daily discipline of reminding ourselves, I'm an empty vessel. I am a broken doorbell. I am resetting my thermostat, my success thermostat, my mindset thermostat, my financial abundance thermostat. I am just touching it. I'm moving it up every day. I'm moving it up higher and higher. And as you do, as you start to move this up, as you start to become aware of this, everything that exists on those higher energetic levels starts to come to you. And you start to notice this by the people who are already there, the events, the opportunities that's already there at those levels. They start to you start becoming aware of them. It's already there. Your life at 225 degrees is already there. Creation is finished. Everything exists in this world. but our awareness factor, the what we're aware of, how we speak to ourselves. Words do not return void. Whatever it is you're thinking right now, listening to me, is finding a place within your body. And as you speak, as you gossip, as you think of things like they cut me off in line. Oh, the boss wants to talk to me. Something must be wrong. I must have done something. As you become aware of that and change that, everything else starts to follow because everything has followed everything in your life to this point. Everything in your life right now is a result of your thinking up until this point. Have a great day.